There have been throughout history places sort of on the fringes of society where artists and, you know, sort of unsavory characters and whomever could feel safe and welcome. Everyone is welcome in a brothel.
There is an American tradition of a kind of Johnny Appleseed sense of the poet as a wandering performer. Some aspect of that really has something attractive about it. It would be impossible to predict what poetry would be like in another 10 years. I'm not sure writing poetry is going to be the way in which poetry continues. It might be something else, some other way of talking about it, or being in it.
Tell them what the Poetry Brothel is, please.
You're so much better at this quote than I am.
What
I always stumble over it.
is the Poetry Brothel?
But when he doubts, your skin flutters on your bones and you shout, and when they take you down, the broken clowns to pin you to the floor.
What we're trying to do is create that place where all different kinds of artists and just sort of interesting characters can come and interact. So we've created this little safe haven after the conceit of a brothel.
You approach him like a harpy to the light and find him gone.
For a long time I would have said try to be less performative in your reading, but I've given up.
Wait, I'm curious. Has anybody ever read one of Rachel's poems out loud in a less performative way?
I can do that. I can do that.
we do
Don't
it?
make someone else do it. I'll
Can we hear it?
She's starting to have a panic attack.
No, I'm okay.
We just want to hear it experienced.
I want to hear it.
We just want to hear it apart from you.
Yes.
But it's a part of me.
It's true, but when if it were printed in a book.
Yeah.
I trust you guys. You can do it.
Want to read it?
Okay. It was the secrets in the whites of his roller coaster teeth. We're not living in a day and age where poets are regularly celebrities or even respected by the larger community. We want poetry to exist in a different way in the world, and that's sort of the main driving force behind this. Of a breathing body bigger than your own, where you will find yourself alone and find him gone. I hope I read that okay. You're okay. Ladies and gents, we've stumbled upon something beautiful here tonight.
Instead of having sex with people for money, we have a cast of poetry whores who gives one-on-one private poetry readings to paying customers.
You don't have to know anything about poetry to let a poem change the way that you feel. You don't have to know anything.
And that's the whole point.
So, today we're headed to Northampton, Massachusetts. A gentleman named Kevin Devaney has invited us to come and do a poetry brothel in his home, and we're very excited.
At the Sarah Lawrence Poetry Festival, one night there were like 3 or 4 readings I wanted to go to, and I ended up spending the night drinking whiskey with the poetry brothel instead. And I was like, this is awesome. This is great.
When people ask us to do a poetry brothel, we always want to do it every single time. It's really difficult to say no, and we would say no if we couldn't afford to do it, but they paid for everything for us to come down here, and we love throwing poetry brothels.
Do you guys need anything in terms of like getting ready?
Okay, let me take a picture of the two of you before the event starts.
Okay.
Are there any rules?
Don't puke anywhere that is not
we don't throw up.
clean.
As a poet, no one is going to pay us to write poetry that no one reads, right? So you have to in some way create either, you know, some kind of character or some kind of show that people want to see. Why do we do this?
Because art makes people happy.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to introduce you to my poetry horrors. Luna Laprari, come join us.
Inside my head, a jungle blooms, creates a canopy for my memories. A bassinet holding a newborn who already has teeth and shame.
The closer you get to it, its corners sharpen.
There's nothing we can't turn into death. The hand on the breast.
And what if they never do? Say I love you. So the way the Poetry Brothel works is we give private one-on-one poetry readings for money. And if you would like to hear the rest of the poem, I would be more than delighted to read it to any one of you personally, one-on-one. The Poetry Brothel is now open for business. It's a private reading.
About my back.
Tennessee.
It's nice to meet you again.
It's my pleasure. I'm gonna read you this poem, which I'm very shy about. We'll see if we like it, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
She is so much taller than the brownstones. I pull the covers up over your sleeping body. She leans the face of your building with care against its neighbor, sets the mezzaluna on the sidewalk, and from inside a black case produces each in order of its use the following forceps, lucite containers of various shapes and sizes, a clipboard, blank adhesive labels, black mechanical pencils. In the context of sitting this close to someone and reading my poetry to them, there's so much vulnerability happening, so basically all of the accessories, the costume, and the entire, like every bit of the jewelry is really just to protect myself from having to be that exposed to someone. And I lay here awake, watching the avenue.
You feel insecure about that one?
I've never read that poem to a human in my entire life.
It's pretty beautiful.
You're very sweet. I would read your poems all night.
Your name is Tennessee Pink.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a lovely night.
You too. I want to make a cultural impact. I literally feel like this group of people are going to be the people who make poetry, I don't know if relevant or popular or monetarily rewarding is the right word, but I feel like we're doing something significant in our society.
They're going to be poets not because they're going to make it or because they want to be famous, but because they love doing it. They love writing it and they love reading it.